Hello everyone. Today I'll be sharing with you UCD itself and why should you study in UCD. Okay, so first off, I think it's best to start off that in terms of ranking, in terms of education excellence as well, we are highly ranked. I would say decently ranked, and as you can see here, we're among the top 10 ranked globally. Then on top of that, you do have the opportunity for a post-study work visa upon your graduation. I think for that one, depending on your qualification that you have attained, it varies from a year to 2 years. Okay, and then on top of that, there are multiple industries over in Ireland that are headquartered here. So there is a vast range of opportunities for you once you have graduated. So these are the list of the top industries over in Ireland and how some of them have actually a lot of headquarters in Ireland itself. Okay, as you can see here, it ranges right from science, technology, engineering, and maths, all the way to finance. So regardless of the program that you're studying over in UCD itself, there is a job opportunity for you once you've graduated. Okay, so this is just a brief rundown as to what you can expect, the global companies in Ireland itself. Okay, as you can see here, there are a lot of companies that both you and I are very familiar with, which includes Apple, Amazon, Google, as well as Microsoft. Okay, just a couple of reasons to share why should you choose Dublin to study in. Now, first off, other than the fact that it has a lot of industries within Ireland itself that are headquartered here, okay, it is also the growing tech capital in Europe. So as you can see here, it's home to leading international IT companies. Then on top of that, just within Ireland itself, it is easy, or Dublin, I would say, it is easy to navigate around. Okay, so what you see here is you could walk or use the public transport and no issues with that. Okay, and then on top of that, it is also the gateway to Europe. So all other cities and capitals are within easy reach as well. Okay, so now we'll talk about University College Dublin itself. Okay, as you can see here, we're top 1% ranked of higher education institutes worldwide, and we are easily in the world top 200 as well. So in terms of ranking, we are decently ranked in that sense. Okay, and really there isn't anything bad to say about Ireland. The rankings are decent. There are a lot of opportunities for students and things like that. Okay, and then of course, I'll run through the 6 different colleges that we have. Okay, briefly later on. Just an overview as to the subject rankings and the highlight over in Ireland itself. We have quite a bit here, as you can see, but regardless, I think there is a vast majority. There are options for your students to choose from. Okay, I guess it's best to highlight that we do have 33 subjects ranked in top 200. So in that sense, I think ranking-wise, like I've mentioned previously, we are decently ranked. So if you're looking at the popular courses through our pathway program itself, what we offer just generally would actually be in terms of the business, econs, and social sciences pathway. We have BSc Business, and on top of that, we have BSc Economics as well. And for engineering and sciences, on the other hand, we do offer biomedical health and life sciences, computer science, engineering. There are a lot of options to choose from. And then on top of that, we also have landscape architecture. Just a rundown as to the various schools there are in UCD itself. Okay, first off, I'll start with the School of Business. And as you can see here, we are the only business school in Ireland to hold a Triple Crown accreditation. Now, what that really means in simpler terms is this a stamp of approval for qualification-wise to actually, show that the qualification that we've attained would actually be of the highest standards. Okay, and then as you can see here, only 0.5% of business schools in the world would actually hold this Triple Crown accreditation. So it is really kind of prestigious, I would say. Okay, and then on top of that, there are study abroad opportunities and fully paid internships as well. As we move on to the College of Engineering and Architecture, it is no different. There is the opportunity for work opportunities as well as overseas placements and things like that. But for this one, it is depending on the degree aim that we're looking at. Students actually have the option to choose like 1 year or 2 years of a master's following the degree course itself. Okay, if we're talking about the College of Science right now, as you can see here, there are a diverse programs that we offer over in UCD itself. Okay, so it depends on the students' interest, what they're keen on. They can explore the options over in UCD. No different from the rest, there is this professional placement available for 3 to 6 months. Okay, and next one would be the College of Social Sciences and Law. Okay, I think just across all of the various schools, the degree aims that are offered are all well ranked. Okay, so as you can see here, it's no different for social sciences and law. We have the top 100 in the world for the following subjects: archaeology, politics and international relations, philosophy, social policy, and administration. At the College of Health and Agricultural Sciences, again, must I emphasize, but in terms of ranking itself, we are ranked #1 in Ireland and in top 100 in the world. Okay, so for the College of Health and Agricultural Sciences, there are access to 2 schools, okay, which is the School of Agriculture and Food Science, as well as School of Public Health, Physiotherapy, and Sport Science. As we move on to the College of Arts and Humanities, this one, again, in terms of ranking, we are 49th in the world for English Lit and Language. Okay, and then on top of that, we are also in the top 100 for history. For this one, there are options for students to choose from. Okay, there is the option for the joint honors for 2 subjects, and then there's another one for humanities. I think just across all boards, across the various schools, what you would see, the common trend would actually be the opportunities, the internship opportunities, as well as the OPT opportunities. I think regardless of the school that you're looking at, there is a chance for you to actually get on an internship program so that you can actually build on the hands-on learning approach that these schools have. Okay, so if we're talking about the pathway program itself that is offered at UCD, okay, so just generally, the pathway program itself would actually help to build on the students' English proficiency. And then on top of that, it helps students to build on the different skills that is needed at the degree program itself. Okay, so that students can actually ease more quickly into the degree aim once they're done with the pathway program. Okay, so over at the ISC, we have 2 academic roads. Okay, so what we have would actually be the Business, Econs and Social Sciences and Engineering and Sciences. Okay, for now, I'll speak about the Business, Econs and Social Sciences first. Okay, as you can see here, depending on the route that the student is looking at, okay, students have the option to choose 4 different modules depending on the route itself. Okay, and as you can see here, in terms of entry terms and things like that, we have 2 intakes, which is September as well as January. The courses for both pathways would actually run through 3 terms. Okay, and if we're looking at tuition fees for business, it's right about 18 to 50. Okay, but of course, with that, we do have scholarships offered. So if price is a concern, then rest assured that we have scholarships to offset the cost itself. Okay, the same as with engineering and sciences, what we have here would actually be a route-specific modules where students can actually choose 4 modules depending on whatever they're looking to study in. Okay, the same as with entry dates as well as term dates. Okay, the tuition fees though is slightly higher, but again, we do have scholarships to offer. Okay, so if we're looking at the entry requirements, just generally, if we're talking about the national qualification itself, what we would actually require is an overall average of 65%, or typically rank 5 in advanced subjects. Okay, that is only consists of the year 11 and 12 with a minimum of 65%. In 65% or rank 5 in specific subject requirements. So that one depends on the pathway the student is looking at. If you're looking at engineering, then of course the prerequisites would be maths and physics, and that differs depending on the pathway that you're looking at. Okay, as you can see here, the IELTS requirement would actually be overall 5.0 with no less than 4.5 in all sub-bands. I think this is achievable nonetheless, okay, but if the student is looking at the arts and humanities degrees, then just take note that the requirement is slightly higher. Like I've mentioned briefly earlier, in terms of scholarships, there are a couple that are offered. Okay, if we're looking at the merit-based scholarships, what this is a joint scholarship program for the foundation course as well as the progression years. Okay, so typically for this one, students will actually get 3,000 in the foundation year. Okay, and then as they progress, each academic year, they will actually receive 2,000 or 4,000 depending on the program that they're looking at. Okay, of course, for this one, in terms of approval-wise, it has to go through the global admissions team at UCD. Okay, so they'll take a look at the merit and things like that. If the student does not qualify for the merit-based scholarship, okay, we do offer a standard scholarship as well. Okay, that ranges from 1.5 to about 3K for the international foundation year itself. Okay, I think as with all other universities, the student support system is important, especially for international students. So we do have the same here over at UCD itself. Okay, students are actually assigned a tutor. Okay, and then on top of that, they can liaise with this tutor for academic or non-academic discussions. Just a rundown as to the progression degrees that are offered through the pathway program itself. Okay, depending on what program you're looking at, the duration, the progression duration varies. Okay, so as you can see here, typically it will be 3 years, but depending on, again, the program, it could extend up to 4 years. Okay, just generally for engineering and sciences degrees, it would go all the way to 4 years for the progression duration itself. But we do have exemptions for a couple in the architecture and engineering related degrees, where student has the option to opt for a 3-year bachelor's, and then on top of that, graduate with a 2-year, continue with a 2-year master's. Okay, next we'll move on to accommodation itself. Okay, as you can see here, we do have on and off campus available. Okay, but just to highlight that homestay is actually mandatory for under 18 students. Okay, so if this is something that your students are looking at, or if your student is under 18, then it's best to highlight this to them. Okay, if you're looking at the visa information itself, as I've mentioned briefly earlier, depending on the qualification that you have attained, you can opt for a post-study work visa. Okay, for undergrad students, you can say up to a year, and then for postgrad, you can say up to 2 years. Okay, I think with the fact that we offer internship programs and the student support system, it is not difficult for students to actually get a job over in Ireland after they graduate. Okay, because the UCD itself would actually assist in connecting students to the employers and things like that. Okay, and with that, I end my presentation.